Come on, please tell me hello. Tell me how you're doing today. Tell us where you're from. We love to know that. So we are on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I apologize, YouTube, for not going live last week. We had several technical difficulties, so that's the reason we didn't. If you're catching us live if you're watching the video right this second over on Facebook and you don't see the little live button up in the corner, it means you're watching the replay. Please put hashtag replay in the comments and let us know when you're watching. So we are going to do a beautiful arrangement in this planter. Now this is a container that we bought from one of our wholesalers. It is a beautiful royal blue planter. Now it's made specifically for plants, so it does have a little hole in the bottom. It's hard to see, but there is a little hole. It's a drain hole, and it has an attached dish on the bottom so that when you water the plant, it does not sit in water. Now that's wonderful for a green plant, but it's not wonderful for fresh flowers because I need to make sure that there's enough water for my fresh flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of foil paper. So foil paper, we ordered it from, I think we ordered this from Burton & Burton. You can get it from several different floral suppliers. You can even pick, I think, probably up from the craft store. But this is just foil paper. Now often I will use it as a liner. It can also be used to wrap plants. I'm going to take a piece, grab my scissors, and I am going to line this container with this foil paper. Now it comes in lots of colors. Personally, I prefer the green just because it's a neutral, but it comes in lots of pretty colors, the foil paper does. So you can use it for other things besides this. So I'm going to take that foil paper, I'm going to take my fist and I'm going to push it right down into that container. Now what you're doing is you're trying to make it waterproof. You want this container to be able to hold water. So I press that foil right down into that container. Now what I'm going to do, ooh, I just slammed that right on the counter. I apologize. What I'm going to do next is take a piece of fresh floral foam. Now this foam has been soaked. This is actually Oasis floral foam. I'm pressing that foam right down into that foil. And I am making sure that it doesn't have a seam that it's going to leak. So there is my foil. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to just trim the foil up all the way around. There we go. I just trimmed up that foil. I'm going to just toss what's left over. I'm going to take my floral knife. Now this is a knife that I picked up on Amazon. I get, I think, a dozen for less than $12. I mean, they're very inexpensive. I don't believe they're even $1 a piece, but very inexpensive. I'm going to take that floral knife and I'm going to cut off about 1/4 of the block of foam. I'm going to drop this back into our container that holds water. We just keep our foam in a tub on the sink that's filled with water so that we can use those remnants for other things. Now you can add water right down into this reservoir and it is going to keep the floral foam wet and our flowers happy. So there we are ready. I'm going to grab and wipe off the wet from the foam real quick.
I have lots of hellos.
Hello everybody. Hello, hello. We are live on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Talk to us. Ask us lots of questions. We'd love to answer your questions as we go. Victoria is here with me, so she is reading those questions. And I am so happy to answer. So let's start out with adding some greenery to our container first. So we got in some pretty mixed greens this week. And I just pulled them out so haphazardly. We got in some eucalyptus. We got in some Milky Way aspidistra. So Milky Way aspidistra has the little little spots, almost like little flecks of gold. We have some sword fern, which is so pretty. So we're going to start out adding our eucalyptus. This is gun-eye euc, so I'm just going to take it And we're just going to go all the way around.
Patrick on TikTok asks, how do you stay so happy during the summer slow times? The last thing I want to do is design, LOL.
So I love what I do. I love designing. Slow times are tough. I tell you, in the floral industry, summer is always tough because your mind is running with, oh gosh, what if the orders don't come in? Oh gosh, how are we going to keep the lights on? All the things. I think when you say, how do you stay happy? Happiness is a choice. And that's what my mama always told us as a child. Happiness is a choice. And so I choose to stay busy with making pretty arrangements. We do have orders, so we try to fill orders. And then I enjoy teaching on social media, so it makes me happy just to teach and to teach the things that I love. So I think my happiness is just a choice. I have to choose to be happy, right? So I'm taking this eucalyptus and I'm stripping off some of those bottom leaves, and I'm just tucking those small little pieces of euc right down into that floral foam.
Sharidia Brown over on YouTube says, hello from Chicago. How long will you allow Oasis foam remnants to sit in water? Can they go bad if they've soaked for too long?
I have never had any issue with them going bad. Now, if you allow them to dry out, they will go bad. So like if I laid it on the counter and I just let that dry out, it's not really going to effectively soak again. So we use it, I would say that we never leave it in for more than several days. Would you? We've probably, the longest we've left it in maybe a week, but we've never had any issues with using it. So I'm still just taking my knife and I'm cutting. Y'all, those are great questions. Thank you for talking to me and asking me questions.
Cam Aldridge says, I need that blue vase.
Isn't that beautiful, Cam? It's so pretty. We have a ribbon truck that came by and he had these on there for sale, and I said they were really a great price, and I said, yes sir, we would like 3 or 4 of those.
I didn't grab you leather. Do you want me to?
No, we're fine.
Okay.
We're gonna figure it out. It's always nice to have to work with something different and make it work, so thank you. No, you did perfect.
Rona over on YouTube says, hello, so good to catch you live. It's hazy in Alabama today. Monty, you're looking like you're feeling good and of course beautiful as always.
Oh.
She also wants to know, how's your mom?
Mama had a pretty good night last night. I stayed the night with her and she had a pretty good night. She's sleeping a whole lot. So we're just taking it one day at a time, but thank you for checking on her. Thank you for asking.
Wayne Barrymore asks if this is for an order.
This is actually not for an order. We just needed to make a beautiful arrangement, so we just thought we would make it in this pretty container. So we don't have this ordered yet, but we're going to price it and put it in the cooler and see if we can sell it. Okay, so that is just gunite euc. I just took, it's 2 stems, actually it's less than 2 stems that I took, and I just took it apart in small pieces and went all the way around in that fresh floral foam. I'm going to wait and add these 2 types of foliage after we put in our flowers because they're really fun to kind of make some decorative accents with those leaves. So I'm going to clean up my little mess real quick. And we are going to start with some lime flower. So our lime flower today, Victoria grabbed a handful, if I can get it loose without dumping all my flowers out, a handful of blue delphinium because it is the perfect blue to match our container. So I'm going to take my blue delphinium. This one's kind of got a little lean to it, but that's okay. I'm going to take my floral knife, cut that at an angle. I'm kind of pressing it to the side. I'm not putting it directly in the middle. I'm just going to be creative with this arrangement. I'm removing the bottom pieces that might have broken off. Take my floral knife.
Flowers by Lisa says, I have to do the bridal table for a wedding. It's 4 feet long. What would you suggest using for the container? I found some trays on Amazon, but it will take 2 of them.
I think that works perfectly. As long as it holds a little water, that way you can do it ahead of time and then just take it and set it up. But I think trays are great. There's a company called LO Florist Supply. They have great little Lomi trays, and it's not by Lomi. They're actually the little long green trays, and there's some that take 3 blocks and even another one that takes 4. I have also done where I took just a piece of wood, like a long piece of wood, and I have taped floral foam to that long piece of wood. It's got enough weight that it holds itself on that table. So if in case you want it to kind of drip down the side of the table, you can set it along the edge and all of that greenery will drip, and it's got enough weight. But really anything will work. If those containers are fairly expensive, I say forego those. Run down to your local hardware store, pick up a piece of wood that gets the length that you need, and then tape your foam blocks the length that you need it down that table.
Cam says, I want to design a blue and white ginger jar so bad now.
Oh, they're so beautiful. All right. So I kind of just went, we're going to kind of do a longer container, not so tall, more give us some length in here.
Oh, I missed this. Miss Dawn Miller asked if this was one of your vases.
It is not, Miss Dawn. This is actually a flower shop vase. Okay, see how this tip is broken? I don't want to throw it away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm just going to cut that broken tip right out. And then I am going to use the piece that's still very good and tuck that in. You can even take this tip, give it a good cut, and nestle it in deep. Okay, so there's our blue delphinium. Next we're going to come in with some mini green hydrangeas. So we got pretty mini greens this week. So our hydrangeas, when they are shipped to us, they come in these little sleeves. They always have this little plastic sleeve, and usually they have like a little bag on the bottom that holds water. Now, we always cut the little bag off, drop these down in water. We leave these sleeves on in our cooler. The reason is sometimes your cooler has varying temperatures, and so if we leave those sleeves on those hydrangeas, if they touch the side of that metal cooler, you're not going to damage those petals. So I'm going to pull off a good many of those leaves using my floral knife. I'm going to cut that stem at an angle, and I'm going to dip it in Quick Dip. Quick Dip is a hydrating solution that helps to keep that hydrangea hydrated. If you don't have Quick Dip, this is just a liquid we buy. You can purchase it on Amazon or any wholesale supply. If you don't want to order Quick Dip, you do not have to. Go and pick you up some pickling alum at your local grocery store. It works exactly the same.
Miss Rona says she's praying for your mom and family.
Thank you, sweet friend. Thank you, thank you.
Irene says hello from Holland, and Loretta Green says hello from Houston. You are so amazing.
Oh, you are so kind. Thank you, friends. I'm so glad y'all are here.
Oh, Miss Betty May says I love your blouse.
Ah, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Anita Green says, hope this is a good day. Love the blue container.
It is a good day. We're choosing a good day. We are. All right, next we're going to come in. We've got some Hypericum bears. Ooh, we got these burgundy. Let's come in with these snapdragons. Look at this beautiful plum or burgundy snapdragons. Snapdragons come in all the colors of the rainbow, like all the colors except a true red. But this is a really pretty plum colored snap, so we're going to take and use those throughout this arrangement. So this kind of reminds me of royal colors. Victoria did an arrangement this morning, and they were kind of jewel toned with the blues and the purples and the greens. Even a really pretty hot pink one there. So pretty. And I said, oh, Victoria, that is so pretty with those jewel colors. She said, that was my thoughts. So she pulled some of those same pretty colors for this arrangement today. So I'm taking and stripping off some of those leaves, cutting that stem and just pressing it right down into that floral foam.
Miss Joan Arthur says, please say a little prayer for my sister Mary Beth, who passed away from salivary gland cancer. Thank you.
I'm so sorry, sweet friend. We will certainly lift you all in prayer. Okay, there's those pretty snapdragons just kind of tucked in to give us a little bit of depth and color. We have, look at this lily, y'all. This is one stem of rose lilies. So a rose lily is a double lily. It's got lots of petals. Oh, they make me so happy. I really enjoy using them a lot more in a lower compact arrangement than something tall because they're really kind of chunky, right? It's really big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and pop the bloom right off that stem. I know that hurts some people's hearts. I'm going to take my floral knife, trim that stem, and I'm going to nestle it low down into this floral foam. Just tucked her right down in there. I'm going to take my second bloom. I'm going to leave these two together, I believe. And we're going to tuck those over to the side. Yeah, I think that way.
Miss Shelby Townsend says, I'm so happy I caught you live today. I love the arrangement.
Thank you, Miss Shelby. So glad you're here.
Rolene Brown says, glad to catch you live. Enjoy watching Micah play. Micah play later today. Have a safe trip.
Thank you, thank you. We're excited to go see that boy. I don't know how excited he is to see us, but we are excited to see him. All right, next we're going to come in. Let's see. Victoria got me some beautiful roses today. So we have these beautiful pink roses. Look at those. They are so pretty. These are called Lovely Lydia. I think Lydia is a pretty name. Do you? Mm-hmm. Such a pretty older name. So I'm going to take some of these pretty pink roses. We're just going to kind of nestle them throughout.
Miss Anita Green says, that is beautiful. I would buy it if I lived closer.
Thank you, friend. Thank you.
Cam says, okay, I may need to try to buy a bunch of flower arrangements from you.
Look at those pinks.
Kay Murray says, so pretty, like the container and florals blend. God bless you and your mom and all the family. It's a beautiful arrangement.
Thank you, sweet friend. Thank you.
Over on TikTok, MB Events says, praise Jesus from Jamaica.
So glad you're here, friend. Thank you for watching.
Miss Nina says, so stunning.
Thank you, friend. Go in. All right, let's put some of these green hypericum berries. So hypericum berries are also called coffee berries. All the colors in the rainbow, lots and lots of color, reds and greens and maroons and pinks and whites. So I'm going to take, look, it has beautiful greenery. Hypericum berries don't always have pretty greens. So often you'll want to strip. I am going to strip down these leaves and just toss them. But if the greenery doesn't look great, y'all don't hesitate to pull that ugly greenery out. If it looks pretty, leave it. But if it doesn't, go ahead and pull that out. It is not hurting that stem at all. Hypericum berries are very long lasting. We've even had them dry pretty in arrangements. So don't hesitate if something has a bump or a bruise to remove those damaged stems or damaged flowers or damaged leaves. It's not hurting that flower at all. And it's just making it where you can actually use it in your arrangement.
Oh, thank you, Miss Marianne. Thank you. She likes the colors, I think.
You did good.
Thank you.
It is pretty.
Miss Dawn asks if this is for a customer.
Miss Dawn, we are actually just going to tuck it in the cooler. We just wanted to make a pretty showy arrangement. So we're just going to tuck it in our front cooler.
Loretta says that is looking beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, thank you.
Miss Martha Ann says, my second day of watching you live. Love the colors.
Yay! I'm so glad you're here, friend. Thank you for watching. Okay, I don't know the variety of this rose, but y'all, it is beautiful. I love the fact that it pulls the white from the lily, but it also has that hot pink petal that pulls that lovely Lydia. It's just a really, really pretty bi-color rose. So I am going to take and remove a few of those leaves. Now, if your roses have pretty leaves, y'all leave them on those stems. That greenery did not cost you any extra. And so I always say leave it on the stem because it helps to fill in your arrangement. I grabbed a little bit of florist wire. This is 21 gauge florist wire. We cut it into, I think this is about 1/4 of a stem. I'm going to take it and press it into that calyx, and then I'm going to wrap it right around that stem. Now I wire all my roses unless I'm cutting it and tucking it really deep down into an arrangement. These are probably going to be cut pretty short, but we're using fresh floral foam, and not everybody remembers to water their flower arrangements. So I like to wire them. I probably get more feedback on wiring roses than on anything else that we get that I do in floral design. More people fuss about me wiring a rose than they do about anything else. This is a me thing. If you do not want to take the time to wire your roses, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. It's just something that I really like to do and that we do here at our flower shop. So I am taking and removing any of these guard petals. So this is a guard petal. It's just the outer petal on that rose. So when that rose is a tight bud, they have outer petals and they're called guard petals. And what they're doing is they're protecting all of the other petals on the inside. Now often they're really fun looking colors, but sometimes they're bumped and bruised. So I go ahead and pop those off. It's not hurting the flower. It's just like those berries that I told you to remove that greenery. You're not hurting that flower.
Floralicious Designs by Ravi on TikTok says sweetness roses.
Sweetness, perfect. Thank you for telling us that. Just so pretty, aren't they?
Flower Mom 45 says it's beautiful. Out of curiosity, how much will this floral arrangement retail for? And Miss Rona on YouTube also wants to know the price.
I have no idea. I'll have to add it up because we just pulled some flowers and we're just tucking them in this design. So I have no idea how much it's going to cost.
Cam asks, have you ever seen Cinderella roses?
I don't know if I have, Cam. I'm terrible. I say this, and you know I call names all the time. I'm terrible remembering all the names of all the roses. I don't know why. Varieties kind of throw me. I can remember types, but varieties don't always stay.
Miss Barbara South says, love the airy look of this arrangement and the colors.
Thank you, sweet friend. Thank you, thank you.
Miss Janice says, hi, Monty. Beautiful as always. Praying for peace and strength for you and your family at this time. God bless.
Thank you, sweet friend. Thank you. Right, wax flower. Victoria's favorite. This is a huge stem. Look, that's one stem of wax. Now, how I like to do it is I'm probably not going to use this whole stem. I just like to take it apart and use smaller pieces. I usually just break them and I just press them right into that floral foam.
Miss Anita says, absolutely gorgeous color palette. Victoria and Monty, you make a great team.
We do make a great team. I couldn't do it without this girl. I tell you, I am one blessed lady to have our Victoria in my life. I am so thankful she belongs to me. I did not birth her, but I am thankful that my boy fell in love because I couldn't have picked a better one. I got her blushing over here, but that's really the truth. I really feel that way. She's so funny. She came over to Mom and Daddy's house the other day, and she's so funny. My children call my daddy Papa, And Victoria walks in and she says, "Hey, Papa," and he says, "Hey, pretty girl." And honey, she just grins all over. She's like a little puppy dog wagging her tail. You call her a pretty girl and she just grins all over.
Miss Denise on YouTube says, "You seem like such a nice lady. Your videos are so helpful to me."
I am so thankful. I'm so glad these videos are useful. When I first started in floral design and doing these videos, I wasn't sure if anybody was even going to care about flowers. I mean, in my personal opinion, why wouldn't everybody care about flowers? But, you know, I have been so thankful that these videos have been so useful. Okay, so I just tucked that wax kind of all the way through that arrangement. Can you believe those lilies, those 3 beautiful blooms of lilies were one stem? One stem, like that's crazy to me that lily is so magnificent.
I have to change the battery.
Okay, y'all, it's gonna take just a second, and I'm sorry she's bumping the camera. We're rocking and rolling over here. All right, so there's those pretty flowers. Now, that's going to be all the blooms, but let's add some beautiful greenery. Some beautiful greenery. So, she's taking just a second to get YouTube back up. We've got to get us a new camera for YouTube. Guys, I am so sorry. I am so sorry we went out. So, this is called sword fern. Last week, I believe I used holly fern, which has those same fronds, those same long fronds. Sword fern's more narrow. Now, I have some fern that's growing in my flower bed at home that reminds me a lot of sword fern. The problem is that it won't hold up when it's cut. So I know it's a different variety than the sword fern, but it's so pretty, and it comes back every year. So I'm just going to take my sword fern, and I'm just going to kind of tuck it throughout. Kelly's microwaving her lunch. Oh, you're perfect. Okay. You are perfect.
Miss Isabel over on YouTube says the flower combination is absolutely perfect. It's so hot here in Quebec, 95 degrees Fahrenheit and very humid. The vegetation is all drying out.
Yes, I bet we are really close to the same in Mississippi. Very, very warm, very, very humid. Yeah, we completely understand. It's tough though, isn't it? Summer's tough. Hot, hot, hot summer is tough.
Carl Garrison says, "Pretty arrangement. Y'all be careful. Good luck, Micah, in your game."
Thank you, friend. Thank you, thank you.
Miss John Miller asks, "How is Mr. Todd doing? Is he out on delivery with Jason?"
You know, he went on delivery a little bit ago. He probably has run out on delivery. He loves it, Miss Dawn. That puppy dog loves going on delivery. And it's so funny because Jason pretends like, you'll ask him, "Do you love that dog?" "No, I don't love the dog. I'm supposed to take care of him. I've never, if that's not love, that's what I want." Right, Victoria? But he won't say it. He won't say he loves him, which we know the truth. We just pretend like we just play off.
Oh, Miss Glenda, thank you. She's saying some nice things, but this reminds me of you because she says I'm partial to redheads because I have 2.
Well, I tell Victoria, I said, "Now, when y'all decide to have children, I need a redhead," and she laughs at me. Okay, aspidistra, just pretty. It's also called cast iron plant. And this one's Milky Way, so it has tiny little white dots. It almost looks like you might have taken some bleach and just hit it on material, and it just kind of left dots. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this leaf and I am going to flip it, and I'm going to pierce it with the stem. Take my floral knife and cut that stem and put a point on the bottom. I'm going to take this leaf, flip it, and just pierce it. Now, often you will see me use a piece of wire or something like that to do this, but this is a very easy way to do this. You got to be a little careful because it'll tear the stem, but look at that pretty loop. And we're just going to nestle some of these loops right down low in this arrangement. And it almost gives you a ribbon effect. It looks a little like you've done loops of ribbon.
The magnolia tree on TikTok says, hello, how are you doing? If you can answer this, how much money in the bank account do you need to run a successful shop?
I don't think it's about how much money is in your bank account necessarily. Because I don't think we had very much money in our bank account when we started. Now, we started 20 years ago. We will have our 20th birthday in November. So I think you probably need to sit down with maybe a business planner to figure out exactly what it would take. What is it going to cost you for your overhead? Have you found a place that you're going to have your flower shop? Are you wanting to do an in-home studio, or are you wanting a brick and mortar like I have? There's lots and lots of questions that go along with that, and so I don't think there's one true answer. And if there is, I don't necessarily know it. I don't know the answer to it. We started off 20 years ago, and it was me. Jason worked for the police department, and he would come in and help me deliver, but it was me and the 6-week-old baby that we had. And so it was a one-man show back then, and slowly but surely we have grown. So it's going to take just a lot of sitting down and figuring out what the cost of overhead, what the cost of your flowers. It'll take a lot of studying to figure all those things out. I'm sorry that wasn't the answer that you wanted. I apologize for that.
Carla Anderson says, beautiful, love watching your videos for inspirational designs.
Thank you, sweet friend. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for watching.
Miss Glenda says, you're very welcome, and my mother was a redhead, as was I in my younger days.
Well, I had hoped that we would get a redhead. Jason's redheaded. Much more redheaded than he is now. He was really redheaded. And then we got Victoria, and I thought, oh, we might get a redheaded baby. Jason's like, why would you wish that on anybody? I said, because it's beautiful. I'm a little partial.
Melissa at the Botanic Studio says, oh, you're on early. I love the design.
I am. Yes, ma'am. Melissa, we're going to head to Fulton, Mississippi, and watch that boy play a little soccer this afternoon. So we decided we better come on early.
The Magnolia Tree on TikTok says, that was a great answer. I understand what you're saying.
Oh, I'm so glad. A lot of times I'm not sure if I'm going to answer appropriately. So thank you. I'm so glad that that was useful.
Jill Rogers on YouTube says, hello, the arrangement is stunning. It's been raining for days here at Holden Beach, North Carolina. We are waiting to see if Hurricane Erin turns in toward the eastern U.S.
Oh,
Great to see you.
We will say prayers, sweet friend. Okay, so the last flower Victoria has out that I missed, I almost missed them, but I didn't. We're going to use a few of the ranunculus that we used last week. Y'all, I don't know. I made a beautiful arrangement last week and showed you with the ranunculus. And they are on my mama and daddy's coffee table at their house. And I have done my very best to keep that arrangement watered. Those ranunculus are absolutely beautiful. They've opened up. Some of them are as big as the palm of my hand. The Lysianthus, beautiful. Like, it amazes me how long flowers will live. As long as they're well watered, they're going to live a really long time. Now, I do need to take that arrangement and pull some of the flowers that have faded. But we're going to tuck in a few of these pink ranunculus. Now, all the flowers you see in this arrangement came from a company called Budsy. Budsy is a direct from the farm flower provider. Most of our flowers are going to come out of South America. And we get, I would say 95% of all the flowers that we use at our flower shop come from Budsy. And I couldn't sing their praises more. I am very, very pleased with their quality.
Miss Ruth says you give great helpful advice for a beginner.
Oh, thank you.
Miss Anita sent us 50 stars.
Miss Anita, thank you for the stars. Thank you, sweet friend, for the stars. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, please hit that thumbs up for me or the heart. That is just a free and simple way to support our little flower shop because it helps to boost this video and it helps it be seen.
They're saying it's beautiful. Chris McKenzie says, hi, I'm catching the video.
Hello, friend. I'm so glad you're here.
Christopher on TikTok says it's gorgeous.
Thank you, Christopher.
Miss Glenda says, I'm so over this rain. Charleston, South Carolina is flooding, and so is Myrtle Beach. Really praying the tropical storm turns around.
Well, we will certainly pray for you, sweet friend. All right, it's done. Oh, it is beautiful. It is so much easier to make a pretty arrangement when you don't think about how much money is in it. Now, that is not appropriate to do, okay? If you're in a flower shop and you are selling an arrangement, of course you need to know how much money is going in your arrangement and you need to count it appropriately. Now, this was just a fun arrangement that I made, so I didn't have to think about the money that was going in it. But the most important thing as a florist or as someone who is selling your floral design or your art, it's so important that you get your numbers correctly. You got to do your flower math or you're not going to make any money, right? So that's the least fun part of designing, is knowing how much money is going into things and knowing that you have to stop when you're out of money. Just an important thing. Thank you for the gift over on TikTok. Thank you, friends.
That was Cindy, and she says gorgeous.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy. Okay, so the flowers that we used today, the greenery we used, guneye eucalyptus. I am a euc girl. I love eucalyptus. We also used sword fern, which is this frond, this pretty frond of fern. And then we used Milky Way aspidistra leaves. The line flower we use, so when you say line flower, it looks like a line. So it's always a straight up flower usually. Bells of Ireland, nope, Bells of Ireland are a line flower. This is blue delphinium. Where did I get bells? That's a blue delphinium. Love that it pulls that blue from our container. And then we used those really pretty purple or plum colored snapdragons for our line flower. Now mass flower today, we use those lilies. I mean, you can see that that's a mass flower. It takes up a lot of space. We used mini green hydrangeas, and there's one tucked right here. You can see those pretty mini green hydrangeas. That's kind of a mass flower. And then we used spray roses, these beautiful, lovely Lydia pink spray roses. What did he call the white with the pink tips?
Sweetness.
Sweetness. Are these standard roses. Now the difference in a standard rose and a spray rose is a standard is one head, one larger bloom. Spray roses have lots of little tiny blooms on them. We used hypericum berries as a type of filler. So these bright green, chartreuse green berries, which I think berries are great year round. Now some people like them only in the fall and the winter, but I think berries are perfect year round, and hypericum berries you can really get your hands on most of the time. We also used wax. Wax flower is a filler flower. Now when you crush that green, the foliage on that wax flower, it smells like soap. And if you've ever smelled Murphy's oil soap, it smells just like wax flower. And then last but not least, one of the showstoppers in this arrangement is going to be these ranunculus, those beautiful hot pink ranunculus.
Did you see the snapdragon?
The snapdragons, I did.
Okay,
that
sorry.
plum colored snap as a line. Now, when you think of lines, Bells of Ireland, stock, snapdragons, delphinium, larkspur, they're all very linear in shape and in form. So that's what that line flower is. But those were snaps and blue delphinium.
They're saying it's beautiful. They hope you're doing well. Miss Barbara says I added Baptisia into one of my arrangements, and it kind of looked like eucalyptus.
And it is so pretty, isn't it pretty? We don't use it often, but it is beautiful.
Miss Marianne says safe travels to the soccer game.
Thank you, friend. I will post some pictures of my boy on the soccer field.
I think that's about it.
Guys, thank y'all so very much for being here. Thank you, thank you. If you have any questions about how we do things at Flowers by the Bunch, you can always ask. You can send us a message, you can email us, you can call the flower shop. But we would love to answer your questions. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Be sure to follow us on all the platforms. We are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So we would love for you to follow us on all those platforms. We will be back tomorrow to make some pretty flowers. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.